Hey guys, this is Big Cheese 256 and welcome to my analysis video of the recently uploaded 7,000 damage game in my E-50M on Winterberg. There'll be a link in the description if you just want to see the gameplay video, the full gameplay video here. This video is designed to analyze and basically pull apart my movements, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, etc. throughout the battle. So hopefully you can take tips from it and learn from how I'm playing here.
Hey, move out, but keep all weapons free.
First thing, the enemy team is a very decent mix. They got tank destroyers, they got 2 tier 10 Russian mediums, they're 2 heavy, a bunch of heavies as well. Whereas we are also a very decent mix. There's 1 artillery per team. Now what I like to do on this map is go over to the Delta village here. You'll see the position once I get into it right now. This position I'm in right now, maybe I should be backing up a little bit, but I'm going over too far. This position I'm in right now is a very strong position. As long as you're not actually spotted from this area here, as long as nothing goes up into the Delta village and starts trying to fire down on you and spots you, there are a lot of bushes in front of me now which separates myself from being spotted from the city, from being spotted. And if you look at my draw distance down here, anything that tries to go past here, or past here, or tries to go up in here, which is something I like to do actually from the south, I like to go into this position here, and vice versa, shoot up into the Delta village. But you can, from here, you can shoot down anything here, and even if they get up as close as in front of the rain is right now, to this area here, you can still shoot them and they can't spot you because of all these bushes and trees between you. Maybe not the best, maybe not so good in the E-50M because the E-50M, its camo rating is not very good. But in other tanks, say the T-62A, FE-4202, tank destroyers like the Jagdpanzer and the T-174, this is an incredibly strong position right now. And this is usually where I like to go from the south, unless there's too much artillery. I tried to shoot that, tried to clutch shot the T-71 auto aim and missed. Spy, but I'm not too worried about it, they're not in position yet. T-62A sat in the open to try and shoot me, so I got mine to him. Now I'm hull down right now. That's another thing to take a look at. This position I'm at right now, this is what you would see if you were firing at me. You can barely see the front of my hull. But really all you're going to see is the top of the E-50M's turret, which is incredibly hard to hit at long range. The turret itself is weak, but the gun mantle will deflect most shots. Of course, with the E-50M, the side gun depression it can depress its gun further off the side than it can off the front. So what I'm doing here is turning my side towards the enemy rather than being front on to get the full 0.8. It's -8 degrees off the side gun depression and -5 I believe off the front. So I'm turning my side to be able to shoot over this hill and stay held out. 54 driving for the open and get shot. Still sitting the open, so I get hit again, and this is what I was talking about before. They're pushing through the Delta village here up the 2 line. They're pushing through the main city here up the 2 line. In fact, the 57 is parked here so that he can shoot on these guys that are all in the middle. This FE, E-75 Lorraine, and I think the IS-7 is just going by. So, and you'll see just how devastating this position I'm in is if they try to push this city area, or try to engage these these 3 tanks here. 49 there. He was the only target I had, and he was moving too fast. Pokes out for a little bit more punishment. I mean, good. Good. 57 heavy pokes out again. In fact, there's some shot. So right, what I was seeing before the 54 popped up is this area is now clear. There's nothing to shoot me as I go over this ridge. So if I try to engage these mediums, which my team is having trouble with apparently, so I try to engage these mediums, and I see this area is clear, so I can get spotted by them and be relatively safe from everything except for their M55 artillery. But I spot the C-54. As I come over. This is what I was talking about with the frontal gun depression of the E-50M. Look where my reticule is with my my auto aim active. The front gun depression on the E-50M is not very good. If you want gun depression, you really need to aim off the side. And this is actually a little mistake I made here. Really, I should have sat where I am right now, turned my side, fired, and then backed off. Instead, I decided to charge straight at him. And this is the result. I don't know how that missed, but especially with auto aim active, but there you go. I should have been aiming off the side. That was my mistake, and I missed my shot because of it. And I rectify that mistake here by firing off my side. Make the mistake once, just don't make it again. In the back, I tried to get a shot on him. Very conscious of that T-30. I do feel pretty bad for that T-71. Now they're engaging in the city again, so I back up, try to get invisible, and start sniping them. As you can see on the map, my team is fallen. My team has died in both the city and the Delta village. We've lost every single flank right now. So this isn't looking good. And I'm realizing that at this point this game is Well, 40 comes behind me, and this is a problem because right there, T-124 hits me. And that's the weakness of this position. If something does come over the Delta village and spot you here, everything in here has clean shots on you, and you'll probably just die outright. Even the strongest positions have the weakness. Just fast range off the 140 and I'm safe again. So I start slowing right down. But I bounced off the STI's shoulders probably there. That one was aimed at the T-124's lower plate. It spurs, I guess, and bounce. Blind fire on the T-124, I have no idea if that one actually. So I'm backing up here. They're pushing straight at us from the city because they know they got the advantage. They know that they basically won at this point. So I try to back up, and the route that I'm taking here, 268 run, 268. So I can just sit here and dispatch him as the artillery gets to spawn. Finishes off. So what I'm doing here is I see that this Foch 155 is full health, and he does, as far as I think at this point actually he's got a full drum as well. So what I'm doing, I got a very accurate, decent DPM gun, so I'm trying to move up into the corner so I can snipe at enemies pushing up the E line invisibly. The idea being the Foch can spot targets for me, he can dump his clip out, and he's got a lot more armor, so he can, a lot more armor than I do, so he can take the hit. I bounce the IS-3, the Foch kills. The Foch hits the STI, I hit the IS-7. Both of them are now on very low health. Foch gets the IS-7, and now the Foch is reloading. But you see, he's not actually taking any damage, right? Right there, the STI had the stock turret, which means that my standard APCR rounds could go straight through. If he had the big turret, I would have had to go for his hull. STI's stock turret is very weak. Now I'm seeing that the capture is really progressing, so I'm going to move over to the cap and move over to defend the capture. I don't know which tank it is, I haven't seen them, but there they are. T-174 and T-30 are pushing up the Delta. There's a badge on T-30, he was already in cover when I fired. So I know that it's the Conqueror that's on capture. Here we are. Perfectly placed cover. The only thing that Conqueror can see is this, from his point of view, which is a very, very tough target on an E-50M. And you'll see how that goes in this engagement here. The Conqueror holds his shot, and he fires, but I reload faster than he does, so I just hit the but artillery splashed me. Now it's 1v artillery, me v the artillery, T-30 and T-124, both the TDs are healthy, and I know that I can't stay here. I know that the T-30 and T-124 are moving down this area, and I know that if I stay here with my 400 hit points against their combined, their combined 3,000 hit points, I can't stay here and fight them close range. I'm a one-shot kill for them. So I try to run and get into the city and get away from them. But T-30 straight down the middle, he spots me as I'm away, and I don't think he even aimed there. He just fired with a fully open aiming circle and smashed me. And that's the end of that. That's the end of that battle there. So yeah, well, we tried. There's really not much you can do in that kind of situation there, in that I was putting out a lot of damage from the road, that position where I was on the road. I was doing a lot of damage into the city, and I did a fair amount of initial damage to the tanks going to Delta Village, but my team, however, fell apart both in the Delta Village and the city. In the city, I have no idea what happened. In the Delta Village, it looks like what happened is the tanks that we had in there got a little bit too aggressive and pushed into more targets than they could handle. In this case, it was a T-54, T-62A and 140 on their side. Those three Russian mediums managed to tear it apart. Anyone on my team that pushed. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope it was insightful, and I'll catch you next time.